Barbados, affectionately known as Little England, is a very unique nation in the Caribbean. In 1626, this island developed the earliest successful sugar industry in the English Caribbean. This wealth and British influence has left the Bajan culture with a lasting impact. I will be exploring the social life, the industry, and of course, some Bajan cuisine such as Sikh head and Bajan Macaroni Pie, and check out the famous fish fry and oysters. And all this for a taste of history from Barbados. Wow, spectacular.
A taste of history is made possible by Sandals Resorts, the luxury included vacation.
I'm so excited to have the opportunity to talk with one of the leading historians of Barbados about the amazing history. It's
Thanks,
such
Walter.
a pleasure meeting you.
Welcome to you as well.
Your reputation precedes you, just so you know.
Well, we have an island to be proud of. All of the other islands of the Caribbean would have had maybe 3, sometimes 4. The Spanish, the French, the Dutch, sometimes the Danish. They were all in the Caribbean competing for real estate, let us say, in the old days. England found this little gem and they guarded it so fiercely.
The fortification was so spectacular, right?
It was. Over 21 miles of sea coast, you had 42 or 43 forts. In other words, every half a mile, there was a set of guns sticking in your face. It's very difficult to take it away. It's only one of 2 Caribbean islands that is not mountainous. And so it was easier to cultivate. Around 1637, 38, soil tests were done and determined that the Barbados soil was more suited to grasses rather than root crops. And of course, sugar is the king of grasses. And within, 7 years, you had sugar and then its byproduct rum, reaching the zenith, so that the king in England is decreeing that his sailors shall have a tot of Barbados grog every day in the Royal Navy. We use the word now going viral, but rum went viral from that royal acclamation in 1645. I hope you cook with rum.
I do, and I like to drink it too, especially Barbados rum.
Very good.
I'm here on Barbados with Janice, who's going to show me some real classical recipe of Bajan cuisine in this spectacular place. What you're going to show me now is side dishes that you call Bajan rice and peas. Every culture that I know of has some kind of a rice dish. What makes the Bajan rice and peas so different? What do you think?
How you cook it, the way how you present it, make it special.
So what goes in your Bajan rice?
We put in some yellow sweet pepper.
Yeah, But your rice is not spicy, right?
No, sometimes we put a little piece of pepper in there to make it spicy.
So tell me, how long have you been cooking here?
I've been cooking here for 15 years.
So you start cooking at 5?
No, I cook here for 15 years.
Yeah, you start cooking when you were 5 years old?
No, please, not at 5 years.
But tell me, for this fish fry that I hear so much about it, there's a lot of, how many people come by?
Thousands of people from all over the world.
Can I ask you how many pounds of rice and peas you make for your Friday night big event?
Sometimes be 2 gallons, sometimes 3 gallons.
And what happens when it's gone, it's gone?
It's when it's gone, it's gone.
You know, there's one thing, you see the time?
Yeah,
how beautiful,
this is
let me
time.
smell, how beautiful. Oh, God.
As long as we get all these ingredients, they have to put in the pot. And when they put in the pot, then you add the peas and add a little salt and let it boil. 20 minutes or so.
So you want to make sure that the vegetables are still identifiable, or we call al dente, not cooked completely. And then you add the rice.
Not completely,
Yeah.
but almost there. Well, I cook the vegetable and the lentil for 15 to 20 minutes. Then I wash the rice.
Much different than many of the other rice combination dishes that I had. Oh, look at you. It looks beautiful. Really good flavor. And you know what? Everything is in harmony. Nothing is overpowering. It is truly a spectacular Bajan rice and peas. You know, I know a lot of Bajans in other islands, and one thing I know, on Sunday, they gotta have their macaroni pie.
Yes.
So I had some of theirs, but now I
Yes.
want to see the real macaroni pie made by an expert at Pat's, obviously.
Yes. The first thing I do, put some water in the pot and add red pepper, sweet pepper, green pepper, thyme, and hot pepper into the pot. And I would let it boil a little, and then I would add in the macaroni for like 10 or 15 minutes. When I finish that there now, I am mixing the mixture that goes in to the pie, the milk, and then you can add some crushed cubes inside it. This is some ketchup that we had here, add pepper sauce, and then I would put a little bit of butter.
A little bit of butter, I like it. It doesn't look like a little butter to me, but I'm sure it makes the flavor spectacular.
Yes.
So basically, once the macaroni and the vegetables are cooked, well, then everything gets mixed together, and the oven it goes.
Mix it up together here, make sure everything inside before we put in the cheese.
What cheese do you use?
Cheddar cheese.
Cheddar, yeah. I know you've done this a few times, so you
It is in my hands. So
yeah, I know that. That's what
I
that's
know.
what I like about you. I cook the same way, by the way.
Okay.
I don't use measuring spoons. It's in the hand and it's in my eyes. And
Well, I would cover this here now and go and add in the macaroni in the pot. Remember, we left the water boiling. Don't forget. This macaroni already boiled. I'm making macaroni pie now.
so the time we fish out, because I'll make sure nobody eats up in the time.
I have cheese that I mix up here. Now, I would add this here into this bowl here to make the final macaroni pie. As you find them, I'll scrape out all the ingredients.
Mix
So,
it nicely under.
like this here.
This bowl is just enough for me to eat, you know
Okay,
that,
you can have one. It's tasty. You see another time
yeah, I see
there.
it right there. I'm at the time patrol.
You take it out.
Mixing is crucial so that all the pasta is covered
Yes.
with your
all
dressing.
it. Now it finished stirring. We would add it into a pan ready to put this pie inside. Then to cook 30 minutes
At what temperature is it?
or 350.
350?
350 temperature.
I can see you made it a few times. Exact measurement. You are truly an expert.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Look at
I
that.
make this all the time.
I can tell.
Every day. I
Look
make
at you.
this here.
Right on the
I
spot.
know.
And then you put the cheese on top.
Yeah, put the cheese on top there. So
Yep.
not much cheese on it there.
I love when the plan comes together. Huh?
Oh yeah.
And now in the oven. Look what
Here
I got.
is
Look,
the pie.
look what I got in my hand. I got
Okay.
the spoon in my hand.
Okay, you could go ahead, cut this pie, please.
So a little piece. Look at that, beautiful. Now I can see why you need to serve it every Sunday. It's so spectacular,
Yes.
so tasty. Give me 5. Great job.
The king had lost his head in 1649, and Cromwell's Parliament of Puritans was now controlling government in London. However, here in Barbados, the people who had settled Barbados felt they owed their loyalty to the king. And so they stopped paying taxes. They just stopped paying taxes. So Cromwell sends out his Admiral Askew to bring the rebels, as he called them, to heel. 42 sets of guns along the western coastline. He could not land until he found one space to land in the north of Barbados. And he had a one-day landing, and that cost him 350 men. So he took back to his boats, and what he did was to execute a blockade so that no sugar could leave the island, and obviously no money could come in. So they came to a truce, which was signed in Oistins, called the Declaration of Barbados, sometimes known as the Declaration of Oistins, in which some of the articles are no taxation without representation, and that was the number one. And actually, 100 years later, we had a young man here from Virginia called George Washington, who came on a visit at 19, and he was given the freedom of the country to ride around on a horse. And he discovered lots of what happened. And in the Declaration of Independence of the United States, you will find probably the same phrases as some of the phrases in the Declaration of Barbados.
You know, Maurice, you know what's intriguing to me when you think about George Washington went only one place in his entire life outside the colonies, right here in Barbados. That's why I came.
You didn't have the Concorde in those days.
That's why I came here.
It took 6 weeks.
In the footsteps of George.
It took him 6 weeks to get his brother here to Barbados. 6 weeks.
My name is Saus. I'm a fisherman in Oysters. Welcome to Barbados.
Great to be here. How many years you been a fisherman?
All my life.
Most people don't realize how dangerous it is for a fisherman to be out there. They sit in a restaurant and eat a beautiful snapper, but don't realize how much work was behind it, how many men does it take, and the danger the sea offers.
It's a very dangerous thing. It is between life and death, because you're sure about going out, but not sure about coming back.
Gotcha.
And then if you get in difficulties, sometimes it takes 2 days before you get back to the land, before you could get to the hospital.
You told me earlier that early on you used to go for 2 weeks out to the deep ocean to catch fish, right?
Yeah.
At a time.
On this 2 weeks period, fishing is hard. But when the fish is plentiful, 6 days, 5 days, that you return to the island.
And you return it right over there,
and then you will sell
weigh
fish
it and sell it to the fishmongers.
Yeah.
I'm here in an amazing fish market in Barbados. I'm going to chat with Neil, who is a fishmonger, who's been cutting fish here for over 20 years. So Neil,
Hey.
give it up for me. I know. There we go. Thanks, man.
Yes, Walter.
You're telling me 20 years you've been cutting fish
20
here?
years, Walter, be cutting fish, Walter.
What a beautiful selection you got here.
Yeah,
and it changes every day depending what the catch is?
Yes.
So basically what he does is whatever the restaurant calls, he's the main guy down here. So all this fish is his. What the restaurant calls down, they tell him, I need so many fillets of that, so many fillets of that, and he does it.
Yeah, correct.
And how many hours a day are you here?
Walter, to tell you the truth, I come here from 8 in the morning to 8 at night.
Even on Sundays?
Even on Sunday to put in the
So
hours, Walter.
this is your church, right?
This is the church.
It's a church? You and my church both.
This is the church at the workplace, huh?
The church of the fishmonger.
Of
I
the
love
fishmonger.
it. Do you cook too? Or you just
No,
cut fish?
I just eat Walter.
You got, who, the wife doing the cooking?
Yes, you do the cooking. I
And,
do eat
and the
it.
girlfriend too?
Only the wife.
I got you.
But Walter, this is the barcode. Right, that's a little guy though.
Little by you, look at this guy. It's interesting to me is how some islands farther north don't touch barracuda, but down here, people eat the barracuda. What?
In the month of August and September, fishes go and suck the brass off the coral reef, so they became poisonous. But in Barbados, we don't have no coral reef.
Walter, all the big fishes on the inside, the really big guys.
Look at it, on the lock and key.
You don't want them to get away, you know. Now, Walter, this is the wahoo. He's looking at about 70 pounds.
Here we go.
Okay, he got him.
Here we go. I just caught it this morning. I got up at 5 o'clock to catch this fish. Am you proud of me?
Oh, this is what Walter gets, right? He's still living. See, you caught him. You want to hold a two like that. You see, you caught him.
Yeah.
You got two. No, we caught two today. Ah, they have you. They come on, there. Now we got two.
Here you go. Oh, not bad for an old guy.
Not bad for an old guy.
Adrian, pleasure to meet you. Now I hear all about this fish fry that you're doing here on Friday night. What are you actually serving?
We serve the rice snapper. You see her?
Now tell me, inside there basically is just like a Bajan seasoning in there. So
Right.
Yeah.
First thing we do, put on the snapper first, because there's a lot of things that's
we'll
going to
take
go
the
on.
time.
Right.
Sure. Oh, nice. I can smell the ginger right in there.
Right.
Beautiful. The most important thing, and most people don't realize it, when you cook on the grill, control the temperature is the most important.
most important.
Too much heat is not good. And you also don't want to overcook it too much so the fish is dry. So Adrian, how long on each side is it approximately?
Approximately 10 minutes on each side.
On each side. And you know when it's cooked because you've been doing it for so long, right?
Yeah,
8 years?
Yeah, but what happens is that sometimes I just take the tongue, so push it in between the bone and the flesh. Okay. If you separate it,
Yeah. See it,
season
yeah.
it on the inside, and just season the flavors.
Stay right in there. It's like, I have a trick too. I go on the fin and I just see if I twist
Yeah,
it.
I do that.
Do the same thing? We went to the same school.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be gentle because sometimes the flesh sticks to the grill.
You want to be careful, yeah? You don't want to rip the skin. Perfect.
This one is much better.
Yeah, much better. Some more seasoning on it. So, at this stage, now you can cook off the vegetables too,
I
Billy.
can show you cook off the vegetables.
You saute it all or just leave it raw?
I saute it just a bit
Wait for it on.
and the plantain on
And the blend, okay. Puts a little bit of the oil on there. Well, the blends won't take any time. The breadfruit, not much time either, you know? Nice. Nice fire action. Beautiful. I see how the snapper is.
Yeah,
5 minutes, ready to eat.
you ready?
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Yeah.
So, chef, so the peppers and the stuff, you're just gonna slightly wilt it, not cook it all the way. It's just so, I got you. Beautiful. A little more marinade in there, I see it. Ready to eat in 5 minutes. I see it. Perfect. It's nice, yep. You got it nice and clean. All right, I'll see you later. Wow, beauty. All this time I've been waiting for this fish. It looks so spectacular. I really love your presentation. The breadfruit, the plantains, and I gotta get a little bit of that skin over here. Wow. Died and gone to heaven.
Like it.
The flavor, your secret marinade, and the freshness of the fish, I mean, it doesn't even get better than that. I mean, this is like, it's not over seasoned like so many people do it. It's just right. Oh, Adrian, give it up. There's only one word that describes that. Spectacular. This is a spectacular setting. I mean, it's just amazing how people took the time and the quality and the vision to build something like this so many years ago.
Makes you want to stay, doesn't it?
Yeah, wants me to go back in time and live right here.
Well, this fantastic place called Nicholas Abbey, this was actually built in 1656. There's 400 acres of a plantation. It is one of the 2 or 3 properties in the island that would have remained almost exclusively as when they were first built.
So it gives you a true window into the past.
What's really very unique about Nicholas Abbey is that unlike any other plantation or property in the island dating back into the 17th century, which this does, it has everything attached. This one has its sugar, its rum still, which has been over the last 13 years rebuilt, almost as it was in the old days. So this is completely as it was in the very old days, except for the fact that wind has now given way to steam and electricity.
I happen to like rum, understand rum, but I never knew where the name rum came from. You had an interesting story to tell me.
Well, they called it all sorts of stuff. It was quite accidental, I believe, but certainly as a byproduct of sugar, it soon became extremely popular. Don't forget that there were about 800 plantations in the island, and nearly all of them were making some kind of sugar and having some kind of byproduct, molasses or syrup, and rum is coming out of it.
Mostly closer to moonshine than rum.
Well, I wouldn't use the word moonshine. I use the word even worse than that. Kill Devil,
Kill devil.
Firewater,
Okay.
Hell's Brew. Those were the names that were being used. So when the king in 1645 talked about this thought of Barbados grog for his royal soldiers, they had to find a proper name for it. And so they went back to the origins. And there was a man who had a tavern called Captain Rumble. So he's sniffing this barrel and it overpowers him, the smell of it. He eventually pours some of the contents out and sips it. And it knocks him out. He has actually discovered a barrel of fermented sugar. And so eventually when they tried to name the product, they went back to Rumble and left us with just plain rum.
Is that the true story?
I don't know.
Or folklore? Adi, so nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. I want to welcome you to Beautiful Barbados. This is my lovely mother, Lexi. This is her kitchen.
The place is named after her.
Yes, it is.
And all the famous food you're making is all a tribute to you. And you're going to show me some interesting dishes
Yes, we both are going to show
that I
you.
may or may have never seen.
The first thing we're making today is the souse. That consists of pig ear, pig tongue, pig feet. We boil it till it's tender, and then we chop it up and put the lovely pickle on that.
So first thing you're gonna do,
We grate the cucumber.
yeah,
Some people like to chop, but we grate it. You realize that it absorbs the flavor a lot better and is much more attractive to us.
I like when you make something because the heart plays an important part in food.
Cook with a lot of love. Yes, that's true. That's our motto here. Our local onion, nice and juicy.
Well, you don't have to go far to shop. Everybody around here
Everything
has
there, yeah.
it's
The
right
produce,
here.
the fish, everything, almost everything's there.
Beautiful. So, babe, so far you've done
Cucumbers and the onion.
onions.
Yeah, next step is the lime, then
Lime. And the lime
then
is
the
just
salt.
what? Cut in half and squeeze
Just
it?
cut and squeeze, yeah. Some salt.
Salt. Mm-hmm.
Although the cucumber produces some water, it's not enough, so cause we like to spread it and let it soak in properly. So get some water, and we have some already grounded Scotch bonnet. So mild for you, Walter.
I like it hot. Nice combination of flavors come out of this pot already, huh?
All right.
Between the onions and
Yeah.
the cucumber. Wow, I would have never figured how much flavor is in just few ingredients.
Yeah.
You see, it's beautiful. It's my belief, less is better. 5 ingredients done,
Yeah.
and salt doesn't even count. Beautiful.
All right, at this point now we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for like 1 hour and a half, so that the flavors can marinate, as I said earlier.
All right, Alexis, so now you have it in front of me. All right, wait.
Intestine of the pig.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stuff it now for you.
Yeah, let me tell you, that looks very familiar to me. You know how many sausages I made growing up in the butcher shop in the Black Forest? So I've done those, I cleaned them. I sometimes didn't clean them so good and I got a kick, you know where. There we go. So here you use a nice funnel, I got you.
Yes.
Tell me the mixture again, I know it's secret.
Sweet potato grater, thyme, black pepper, clove, a dash of salt, and maybe a dash of sugar if you want to.
Now, that's a unique flavor that I've never tasted. You get all the seasoning, you get the clove, you get the potato. It's just too difficult to explain. Beautiful. You tie it up before right at the end. Smart woman. You wouldn't be in business as long if you wouldn't be smart, right? Now that is nostalgic for me, let me tell you. We do that with liver or with blood sausage. This is real culinary art. I would never envisioned to find this right here in Barbados with you guys. And now it goes in a pot. What do you put, just water with a salt?
Only water.
Only water?
Don't let the stove too high, otherwise it will burst.
Passed open.
A slow fire for about 20 minutes. I know you was coming, so I make some in advance.
Nobody's ever done a sausage like yours over there.
Hey, so Walter, I don't think you ever heard of a sea cat? It's a small octopus found in our waters.
Never, ever heard of it or seen it.
Right, so we put this in the pressure cooker with some salt for about an hour and a half. Yeah, so once we get this out of the pressure cooker, it has on a lot more of this part here,
Yeah,
so we
it's the
clean it
suction.
off because a lot of people don't really like that texture.
Because the suction cup is a little crunchy.
Yes, so we leave on a little bit, so everybody will be happy. We just cut it up.
Wait a second. You have any oil in there?
No, no oil. Just
Just
the
like
salt.
that? So the fatty part of the octopus gives this
Yes, that
shape?
flavor, yeah.
That's amazing. Another one I learned. It's the natural fat from the octopus.
All we do is serve this with green banana and
You know, that's my dinner tonight. I don't need to go for no dinner nowhere. It's a great combination. You guys rock. Give it up.
thanks, man.
Beautiful. Great flavor.
You have the pig tongue and the pig ear, the pig feet.
Beautiful. I can wait for that. So what she's doing is a dish that is served all over Europe, France, Germany especially. Same idea, except then afterwards they make an aspic, a layer like a gelatin, and eat it cold. Okay, good.
And the pickle here, the topping of the dish, it's been in the fridge marinating for about an hour and a half.
A relish on it now, let me see. You guys are artists. It's a flavor I've never experienced before. I'm going to send everybody down here to experience. It has heat, it has flavor. You know what it has most than anything? Love. A lot of love in there.
Yes.
I can tell. The cucumber relish changes the complexity on each dish. I experienced some culinary delights that I haven't really ever seen. So it's fantastic. Thank you again. And obviously this is all for a great taste of history from Barbados.
A A taste of history is made possible by Sandals Resorts, the luxury included vacation.
For the past 10 years, I've gotten so many requests for recipes for my show, A Taste of History. Well, now you can find my favorite recipes in the Taste of History cookbook.